Congratulations. Today we are celebrating closing day and delivery of a beautiful home for Dan, who is from Canada. Dan and I started our journey in August of 2024. And now in April of 2025, we are celebrating the closing and delivery of this beautiful property. So Dan had a vision to live in Puerto Vallarta, and my task was to find him the property, his dream property, and here we are. Dan, tell us about your experience.
Well, we began in August of 2024, and we looked at a number of properties. Christina set up a number of viewings immediately for me. It was great, and we found a really nice property, and I put a bid on it, and we were accepted. The problem was there were problems unforeseen by the person who was actually selling the property. So for a number of reasons, that didn't work out. However, we were persistent. Christina was persistent and found a number of other properties that were really, really nice. And we looked, and lo and behold, we found something that was not only suitable and within my price range and was what I was looking for. It was actually better than I was looking for. So, everything happens for a reason, and that's why we, ended up with this really, really nice property.
So we all start with a dream. We all want our own piece of paradise in Puerto Vallarta. And, today was really like the end of that journey. And today we had our closing this morning at 11 o'clock in Bucerias. Share with us, Dan, that experience of closing in the notaria. You read and hear things, but how was your experience, Dan?
I mean, the experience, the closing was seamless. All the documents were prepared. Everything was, was signed. Both the sellers and myself as the buyer were there. And we were able to do it within, a relatively short period of time, which was really, really good. But, I must say that the difference for me was the fact that I had a real estate agent who was really responsive, which is important, because when you are going through a journey that ends up being 9 months, you want to find out, where we are, what information you have, how soon can we close, those types of details. And Christina was very responsive, and she was right on top of things. So that made it, quite a lot better, a more pleasant journey than it really, really could have been over that period of time. So I'm really thankful for everything you've done for me.
I'm very grateful for your trust, Dan, because, when everyone expects and hopes and wants a transaction where you put the offer in, it's accepted, and everyone expects that, the inspection and the escrow and the delivery and the closing date will be one transaction. But in our case, we have a more close relationship because we went through something that should have happened. It didn't happen. However, at the end, it turned out that that opportunity was better than what we had hoped and expected. So life brought us to this beautiful property that we're sitting here now, and we are now more grateful for that first transaction didn't go through. But it turned out that it is better than we had hoped for. And details are the devil in the transaction. We worked together very closely, and know that my experience was very, very positive as well. And Dan's experience was very positive. And so if you're hoping and dreaming of your next experience, your dream home in Puerto Vallarta, know that it can be possible. Dan from Canada, me, even though I'm Mexican, I live in the US, we have these expectations of how things should happen. And they are clear, however, when things are not so clear. But in the end, we are here sitting in the property. And now looking back, we think it was so worth it. This is the end, the experience where we all look forward to, and when we are embarked in this journey of our piece of paradise.
Yeah, I can say that it came together really nicely. I'm really happy with how things turned out, and I can't say enough about Christina and the work that she has done, and through this very long journey, and it was a long journey. For no fault of Christina or mine, but you know what? We kept to it. We persevered, and what I can say is, if you're looking for somebody who is detail oriented, who is very enthusiastic, who is really somebody who knows what they're doing, I would suggest you give Christina a call.
That's very kind. Okay, there was no script written for this video. This is like the cherry on the cake. We are now celebrating beyond real estate. this is, Dan is no longer a client of mine. He's now a friend of mine. And we are celebrating how someone from, who lived in the States for many years, discovered Puerto Vallarta. And I'm happy to share my learnings with Dan